the mighty and resilient Merrimack River, carving through the communities of our great region. My name is Linda Lorden, proud president of Merrimack County Savings Bank, and like the river that serves as our namesake, we're a constant yet ever-changing presence. Because to us, it's bigger than banking. It's about powering communities and putting people first. It's about knowing where you came from and where you're going. That's Merrimack style. Visit us at themerrimack.com.
This is the Washington Times front page for Monday, August 12th, 2024. Thanks for starting your week with us. I'm George Gerbo. The Congressional Budget Office says the rapidly rising federal debt will cause substantially more damage to the U.S. economy in coming years than climate change. Stephen Dinan reports the CBO projects federal debt growth would reduce the economy by 3.2% in 30 years, and climate change would reduce it by 1% as measured by gross domestic product. The federal debt topped $35 trillion late last month. Of that, roughly $28 trillion is held by public investors. The rest is internal government debt, such as lending money from one program to another. A leading U.S. cybersecurity official is warning about digital disruption surrounding the November election, but said government officials are prepared to meet the challenge. Ryan Lovelace reports Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency Director Jen Easterly predicted that such looming trouble would become routine. Last month, CISA and the FBI issued a public warning about the prospect of distributed denial of service attacks on infrastructure and websites tied to the election. The service denial attacks overwhelm vulnerable systems with traffic, prompting web pages to crash. Former President Trump tried to use his broad popularity in Montana to bolster Republican Senate candidate Tim Sheehy. Alex Miller reports he's up against incumbent John Tester in a race that could decide the balance of power in the Senate. Tester is vulnerable as the lone statewide elected Democrat in a state that has become deeply Republican in recent years. He's also running for the first time against a ticket that features Trump. Democrats hold a 51-49 edge in the Senate, but Republicans are defending only 11 seats, and none are considered highly vulnerable by political handicappers. One of the world's fastest fighter jets, the F-16, took its time getting to Ukraine. Now the question is how much of a difference the U.S.-made plane can make in a battle of attrition with Russia after 2.5 years. Mike Glenn reports Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky began pressing the Biden administration to provide jets soon after Russia launched its 2022 invasion. After years of delay, including what some considered Washington's reluctance for fear of provoking the Kremlin, Zelensky last week confirmed the jets were in the fight. NATO members have committed to providing Ukraine with at least 60 F-16s, although it wasn't clear how many were in the first delivery. Analysts say the jets could greatly improve the country's layered air defense and significantly contribute to the detection and destruction of Russian missiles. The Supreme Court overturned about two-thirds of the decisions it considered this term from the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. Alex Swarry reports court watchers say the Supreme Court, with its conservative majority, may operate just to the left of the Fifth Circuit, widely regarded as the nation's most conservative appellate forum. The Empirical SCOTUS blog said 9 of the 50 challenges that justices heard this term originated from the Fifth Circuit, and the Supreme Court reversed those decisions about 66% of the time. And finally, White House correspondent Jeff Murdoch looks at Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Walz's record on the economy during his time as Minnesota governor. Walz campaigned for governor in 2018 on the promise of adding a 10-cent per gallon gasoline tax and proposed increasing the income tax rate for millionaires by 1%. Neither measure cleared the Minnesota legislature. Since Walz came into office, the largest employment growth has been in healthcare, the social assistance sector, and government, according to data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.